Good morning and welcome to It's a Beautiful Day in Fairfield, our weekly podcast, 8:30 to 9:30, every Friday morning for you here on RJ on the Air. I'm Mark Turner, that's Claire Vaughn. Tyler Lampley has joined us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Mark. How you guys doing today?
Well, we're here.
We're here. It is a beautiful day in Fairfield, although it be raining and nasty out there. We can still find
okay.
some good in the day, right?
You bet.
That's right.
So what do you got going on? I mean, well, your hat is in every ring
We tried
going on.
We
Oh,
tried
yeah.
to do
Every
a
time something happens, well, who's working with? Well, Tyler Lampley is doing that, and it's everything.
last week at the end of the podcast, we were like, and next week's Tyler Lampley, and we just started listing off all the things that you're involved in. I still know that we're missing some things, but okay. So co-owner of Save a Lot.
Yep.
Co-owner of Save a Lot, a Rotarian. He is on the Frontier Foundation board. He was an alderman for the city of Fairfield. He has now kind of washed his hands of that. You're a Shriner,
Yes.
all right, and
So then I got the Masonic Lodge, then on the Recreation Committee for the
Oh, yeah.
Eclipse.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
you think that's it?
Yeah.
Do
Surely
you
there's
ever
more.
sleep?
He's also a brother, an uncle, a son. Got all these things going on. A cabin goer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You like
yeah.
to go to the cabin in your free time.
Yeah.
Do you have any free time?
You have to make free time sometimes and just disappear.
Listen.
Go up to Trago Lake and, relax.
Yes, you
All
have
right.
to make time for that for sure. So, all right. Well, like Mark said, tell us what's going on. What do you want to start with? You want to start with Save a Lot? Tell us about Save a Lot. What's happening there? Anything new going on?
Oh, gosh. I mean, it's the holiday season. So
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's, keeps us busy. We got through the one big holiday. We got through Thanksgiving. Now gearing up for Christmas. So you get all the baking goods in, kind of switch over from just kind of the fall
Right.
stuff to more, okay, now it's time for people baking and making soups. And home-cooked meals really take the forefront of the winter months.
Yeah.
So pretty much you have to change everything that you're ordering to get ready for this time of year.
It's crazy. And you have the Archway cookies.
We do have Archway cookies.
Tina, we're
You know.
talking to you. Archway cookies.
I know exactly what she's going to say. If she's heard this or when I tell her, I can't repeat what she's going to say.
We're not on the radio waves. We can say
Yeah.
it. What was I gonna say? I had a question for you, and now I'm blinking. We were talking about holidays, holiday food. Yeah, I don't remember. That's a good podcast person right there.
That's every conversation with. That's how every conversation with Tyler starts. Hey, I got a question for you.
Yeah, right. Oh my
Every time I
gosh.
answer my phone or everything like that, it's like,
question
I got a question for you. Whether it's a
Oh, yeah.
old city thing or whatever. But,
Man.
yeah.
All right,
But,
I got a question for you. So we talked about last week the busiest shopping day of the year, and that was general shopping, so food, groceries included. And the answer to that was the Saturday before Christmas.
Yeah.
So what is your busiest day for grocery shopping that you see at Save a Lot?
There's the top 3 holidays for
Okay.
grocery. So you've got Thanksgiving is number 1.
On Thanksgiving Day?
No, the day before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
for Thanksgiving, for the grocery world is the biggest holiday.
Okay.
Then the number 2 would be the day before the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we
And
talked
then
about that.
followed by Christmas and Easter are pretty close together. But
Yeah, really.
But yeah, Super Bowl is up there, and sometimes it can overtake Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I believe
Not
that.
surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, people get together. They,
You go
whether
for
or
the
not they
food,
watch the game or
right.
not, they have a reason to get together with people, and
I know.
they just do it.
We used to go to a Super Bowl party at some friend's house, and we would sit down, and we'd start playing that sequence. You guys played sequence
Yeah.
before? We'd start playing sequence, and then, when the national anthem started, we'd stop and watch. Then we'd go back to playing sequence. Then when the commercials started, we'd stop and watch. Then we'd go back to playing sequence. And then we'd watch the fourth quarter.
Well, and the
We'd watch
halftime show.
Halftime show in the fourth. Well, depending
Right.
on who it was.
Yeah, there's been years where it wasn't worth really watching, but
Yeah. So. But anyway, so Christmas and Easter are pretty far up there too.
Yeah,
Number 3 on the
they're
list,
pretty far up there. I mean, but they're not at the ranking of Thanksgiving and Super Bowl.
Okay.
I feel like I always end up going to you guys like twice the day before Thanksgiving, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're like, okay, I've got everything I need, and you get
Well,
home and you're like,
there's people
crap,
that's, like,
no, I didn't.
Every single day, like for 4 or 5 days leading up, like, oh, I forgot this, I forgot that, and then you're
Yeah.
just like, oh, hey again.
We're back.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad it's not just
That,
me.
that sounds like us.
You think I would make a grocery list or something, but
Well, there's people that buy their entire meal on Thanksgiving morning. And We're open
Really?
from 7 to noon on Thanksgiving, and we'll have people come in with 2 cartloads, and they'll be like, yeah, my family's calling me, asking me where I'm at with the groceries
oh,
That
to start
my.
cooking.
That happened to us one time. We were supposed to go out of town for Thanksgiving, and our daughter got sick and got hospitalized.
Oh my.
And so we had to rush out to Save a Lot and get the whole meal. So
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you had some thawed turkeys, because that's a whole issue too. If
No,
you,
and they
you know
bought
what I mean?
frozen ones,
They-
and kind of
I don't know how you're gonna cook
Good
that
luck.
today,
Yep.
but
You know?
yeah. Oh,
people
that's-
say there's a way, but I don't know that I would want to eat it.
and it may not be a safe way. I mean, you
Yeah.
could dump it. You could just drop it right into a.
Oh, don't
You know-
yeah. No, we do not
Cause an
recommend that.
Oh my gosh! I was trying to get Libby last week to do a carving section on our podcast,
Oh,
teach
yeah.
us how to carve a turkey, and she's like, "I don't know how to carve a turkey. How am I? Why am I going to do that?" So
I got a sawzall. It works pretty darn good.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. All right, well, go and check out Save a Lot. They are a chamber member, so if you have chamber bucks, you can spend them there. They have great prices, and it's local guys that own it, and we want to help our local businesses out as much as possible. So go and shop local and shop Save a Lot. You guys do a lot for the community too, so we appreciate that. I mean, like Mark said, these guys, Tim included, they're there setting up and tearing down the Rotary booth. They're, at the Rotary meetings every week, and they're making donations to the community and involved in the community too. So we appreciate you and all you do.
Yeah, we're happy to be able to do it, and that's because of our customers.
Yeah, right. It all, what goes around comes around.
Yeah.
So, all right, I want to talk about too the new Bobcat Athletic Center, since you are on the foundation, Frontier Foundation.
He's actually pretty much in charge of it, aren't you?
Well, I was the one that opened my mouth.
It gets us into trouble sometimes.
Jay came to our foundation meeting here, it's probably close to a year ago now, and presented it to us before he'd even presented it to the coaches or anybody else. And we got the first look at it. And we're, everybody was like, amazed at it. But then as we started looking at it, it's like, man, it's just something's missing. Started asking some questions. And it was going to be about 30 feet shy of being able to ever have basketball or something like that. And we're like, we might want to after. I mean, Jay doesn't want basketball at all. I mean, and he's
It's
very
after
blunt
his-
about it.
yes.
He goes, but he's only going to be here for another, probably a couple of years. He just signed a new contract.
Right.
They asked him, and he decided to stay. So he got to thinking about it, and he came back to us, and he said, yeah, I don't want to hamstring the next administration. So maybe that is something
30 feet short, you know, that's just...
He's like, just for my own personal feelings about
Right,
basketball.
right.
So we kind of talked, and we said, well, what will it take? And is IACC, open to this idea? So we talked to them and him and kind of came back, and they said, well, it's going to cost about another $600,000 to $700,000. Probably $700,000 is what the estimate came in to do it. I said, we're committed to $3.4 million. If the foundation can come up with the $700,000, we'll do it.
Which seems like pocket change compared to 3.4 million.
I mean, so regardless, a $3.4 million facility will be built.
Right.
But you can't expand a gym after it's built, especially on the long wall.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
So the original one was an 80-foot by 110-foot. The new one will be 112-foot by 110-foot. So it went up by 32 feet on one side.
Yeah.
And then that will allow for multiple volleyball courts to be turned for tournament play. It'll allow for 3 pickleball courts. up to 4 if they really wanted to, but 3 is a
Pickleball.
nice number for that. Give them 3 indoor courts that they can use anytime. And then be able to do intramurals, be able to section it off, have 2 basketball courts going on there.
Right.
Plus it'll have seating on one side of the gym, which should be plenty for what they usually have. I mean, if they do any kind of events in there, they could do seating on the floor and things like that.
Right.
If they're doing they talk about doing some graduations through sections, like nursing graduation.
Oh, yeah.
That way they don't have to go to FCHS.
Right.
It'd be nice for them to be able to have graduation on their own campus.
Yeah, all of this is just helping the community of Frontier feel more like an on-campus school,
Yeah.
Having a home.
But, by doing this, and if down the road bring in basketball, you're talking about another 40, students coming to Frontier. And right now we already have students that are from Italy and Germany and places, from all over the world, Australia,
Right.
that are coming to Frontier. And this is going to open it up even further. And that's a lot of people coming. And then that'll be a lot more games. Be parents traveling into town to watch their kid play.
Oh, yeah.
They're now spending money at all the local stores, restaurants, gas stations, things like that. I mean, it's going to have a very big trickle-down effect.
Oh, I agree. The tourism aspect of it is huge. And, I think about Chet Snyder and the volleyball tournaments he puts on and how he's limited because he has there and Center Street. And now that's another opportunity. So more schools, more parents, more kids.
He'd be able to have 2 more courts. And he even said, if I would have had more gym space, I'd have more teams. He could probably bring in another 6 or 8 teams.
Right. He's maxed out.
And you're talking about 30 people, probably each one with kids, parents, maybe even more.
Right.
That's another couple hundred people coming into town for a whole weekend.
And you see those buses pull in to Taco Tierra, to McDonald's, to DiMaggio's, wherever. They're eating here.
Yeah.
They're filling up their gas tanks here. And all of that helps our community.
Yeah, you have to look at what aspects of our town are growing, and we have to focus on them. There's some things that just aren't, and there's some things that are.
And the colleges.
The college
Pretty
and the
close to the top
hospital
of the
are
list.
both 2, big things that are showing growth and things like that are hiring people and expanding.
And those are the things we really want to try to baby and help grow.
Well, if you get a hospital and a college together that are top notch,
successful,
then now you can build everything else, around that. Other things are going to happen. People are going to be traveling here for hospital services, for college services, things like that. That's just people drawing into town, and more people coming into town, the local businesses downtown thrive, everybody wins.
How much more do we need to add to also have a hotel? The Bobcat Athletic Hotel.
Under Brent McGuire, when I was on the city council, we did that last year. We did a hotel motel study, and we had done one about 3 years prior to that, and both of them highlighted Frontier and the college. Frontier College and the hospital as 2 big things. And they said that we could easily support at that time about a 50-room hotel.
Yeah.
They said there shouldn't be any reason. We used that hotel study and we sent it out to everybody. And we, unfortunately, COVID and everything else was kind of putting everybody, they weren't looking to do anything.
Right.
Construction costs went through the roof after COVID. So everyone's like, well, we'll look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. But now with this, that's going to put us to the next level.
7,500 room hotel. That'd be amazing.
Could get it, it'd be great. The city is offering free land out just west of Walmart. They have 9 acres there. I think they're looking to kind of split it into 2 parcels, like one for the hotel, and then if you have another project that would go along with the hotel,
restaurant,
or some kind of.
There are a lot of hotels out there that have certain restaurants that will pop up
right.
everywhere there is that type of hotel.
Yeah, and they would be, didn't want to just give somebody 9 acres when they only need 3.5 to 4. Give them the 4 that they want, and then say, hey, we have this other property available. That way, you can kind of entice the next person who's next to a hotel, this kind of thing. So
it would be great for our community. Like you said, there's just a lot of people coming in for the college. There's a lot of people coming in for the hospital. We have hunters that come in, during hunting season. And then, like people who used to live here that come home for
Yeah.
Fall Fun Fest and stuff. And we only have so many Airbnbs. And, you know, if we can get people to stay here in Fairfield as opposed to driving to Mount Vernon or Evansville or wherever to stay, that's, once again, them spending their money here.
And we have quite a few Airbnbs. And,
Yeah, we
you know,
do.
And actually, there's going to be a few more coming down the line. I've heard of a few houses that have sold that are going to be turned into Airbnbs.
Oh, wow, good.
And then downtown, Andrew Gifford's looking at
Yep.
doing some Airbnbs. So, I mean, we have quite a few. I'm on the zoning board. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, yeah.
We approved one on the Southwest 6th Street, the old Seventh-day Adventist
sorry,
Church.
yeah.
That's a event center and Airbnb on on two ends of their building. So
Very cool. Yep. They're very beneficial to our community. Airbnbs are, I mean, that's literally the only place we have. I mean, we have 2 motels, but.
And we get 5% hotel motel
Yes.
tax, which
Which-
funds our recreation.
Yeah, Recreation Committee, which is what the funds for the Recreation Committee are being used to help fund the projects for the solar eclipse that's coming up. Anytime there's organized events in town, like the trunk or treats and things like that, you know, the Rec Committee funds help fund those. So it's
We're funding
very.
the Christmas parade, all
Yep.
the prizes for it. We funded the trunk or treat. Then we do different bands like downtown to go along with other chamber events. Because since we kind of brought in Libby and then chamber members, kind of round out our recreation committee instead of just having 3. Because before it didn't ever have funds, but now we got this hotel motel tax and it's generating between $2,000 and $2,500 a month.
Right.
We have funds to do different things.
Yeah.
So we try to spend every bit of it. I mean,
Right.
every year, like, hey, let's do all these events. We have discontinued the ice skating because I can't think of the name
Cider
of the
Barn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cider Barn is going to be opening. I'm hearing maybe this weekend.
Yeah.
You know,
We were out there last weekend.
I mean
And
the
The
ice skating.
itself.
No, when we were out there last weekend,
Oh,
the
yeah?
Cider Barn, they had the ice skating rink up, wasn't filled with ice yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, and the barn is looking great.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
I know they've been out there around the clock. People, I think, have actually been sleeping out there to like try to make sure that it's like open.
Yeah.
Possibly by this weekend. I don't know. That would be great for them.
know that's
I
the
mean, it's a
goal, I think.
huge, investment that they're doing out there, and I hope it does well.
Yeah, and we don't want to steal from them and their
Yeah.
business at all. So, yeah, I'm excited. Go and check that out. It's located south of town. Is it right past Walter's Buildings? Is that where you turn left? Do you know?
I am not for sure.
I'm not 100% sure either, but they do have
I know where you turn left.
but you can't tell us.
But I can't tell
It's
you.
a secret.
Yeah, I know they do have a blue sign out on the highway.
Okay, good.
So, because they had a picture on their Facebook page that it said like, so there is an arrow.
Yay, good. I know, like I've lived here my whole life, and there's still sometimes I'm driving like to Shreve's Pumpkin Patch, and I'm like, what road do I turn left on?
Well,
And
I
my
mean,
husband,
I can-
it drives
yeah.
him crazy.
If you remember where Francis and Laura Kuntz lived, out on the South Highway, you take.
No.
The older folks would do this.
Yeah,
If
right.
you take a left there,
Right.
it's out that way.
Okay.
Oh, you're blah blah blah's
Yeah.
son. Yeah.
Right,
Wasn't
you
that your
know.
grandma?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the Fairfield way. I always
That's
love
right.
that. Now, who's your mom and dad?
That's right.
Now, who's their mom and dad? Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Okay, so while we're just talking about taxes and city stuffs, and even though you're not an alderman anymore, we see these posts on Facebook all the time about the business district tax, and it was brought up in the city council meeting this past week. One of the aldermen asked, what are we doing with that? Can it be used to help with? I think the thing in question was the pension funds. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but they're talking about, okay, this is
Yeah,
building
this past week at the city council, they were talking about property taxes.
property taxes.
So they
and-
have to get their levy done before the end of the year,
Mm-hmm.
and pensions is their
Biggest
biggest
issue.
thing right now. I mean, not for anybody's fault. That's almost even living.
Yeah.
But there was a good time period where no money was put into the pensions.
Right.
So
It was the bucket was passed, as Mayor Moore said.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
pass the bucket, like
yeah. So
pass it
now
down.
have to get it caught back up. But there's around $10 million that needs to be funded into it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a number that's extrapolated over like between now and 2035.
Right, yeah.
You know, with interest earned and all this, they say, hey, it needs to be $10 million. It's not necessarily that amount of money.
Right.
It's actually a little less. But there's a lot of money that has to be put into that pension fund. I know the police were not adding to the debt.
Yeah.
But, or the police, we are.
The fire.
We are still adding to the debt
Yeah.
a little bit. The fire, we're not adding to the debt anymore. So, I mean, we got one of them caught
Under
up,
control.
one of them's, you know, still. But, you know, it'll work itself out. I mean,
Yeah, so that will be discussed at the next, or it was discussed this past week,
Yeah.
but action will happen at the
Yeah.
next city council, whether taxes are going to be raised or not.
Yeah.
So if you guys, have questions or.
And I believe they're going with 7.99%,
Yeah.
so that requires the truth and taxation hearing. So they
Have
will
that.
open the city council meeting
Early.
It'll start
15
like
minutes earlier.
15 yeah.
People can voice their opinion.
Yeah, so
on-
come out and ask questions and voice your opinion. And, we always say don't just sit behind
Yeah.
the computer and say it. If you have questions about it, come out and they will
Just get
answer
educated.
it.
I
Yeah,
mean-
right.
I mean, unfortunately, it's something that probably has to be done because we're just in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
People just got to remember that it's only on the city portion of your property taxes,
Right.
and not the whole thing. So it's not like my property taxes are $1,500 a year. We're not talking about $100
Right.
increase. We're talking about the small portion that's the city.
That's the
So I
cities,
mean, you're probably looking at maybe $15,
Yeah.
something like that. I mean,
Because the county did theirs, I think, already, and I don't think they levied anything. I think it'll be the same.
the same,
So, yeah, I believe that's what I heard. So, anyways, that's something to think about. But this new business district we started January 1, business district tax, and it was a 1% tax increase on sales tax in the business district.
yes.
And you were
I was a
involved
proponent-
with
yeah,
that.
I was a proponent of
Mike
it.
Dreeth, and you worked together on that, getting that organized. So just kind of tell us about it and it versus TIF and, what it's going to be used for.
Okay. So the plan from day one when we sat down with Mike Dreeth and Moran, who is our economic development counselors, was that we would get this tax going. It's a 1% tax on the non-food tax. So the one that was 7% went to 8%. Didn't affect groceries. So the way we decided was we would start it January 1, and it would go for an entire year. Because TIF, we're always chasing at the end of the year, waiting for that next payment to come.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we never had anything if something big would come to town.
Right.
So the plan was with this business district, because it has so many possibilities of what the money can be spent for, that we would let it grow for a year, and then we would always have that 1 year cushion. Money comes in monthly, so we would be able to probably satisfy most of the requests through the monthly needs and always have a 1 year kind of cushion sitting in an account.
And so it's up to, I think, almost $700,000 right now.
Jenny Farmer, she pulled it off the state website. I saw she posted it. It was $683,000. I
Okay.
think that was a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
So I don't know if the November money probably will be coming in there now.
Right.
The
So
original
a million.
Original estimate was around $1 million.
Yeah,
I
a
think it was
year.
projecting to be a little bit less maybe this year,
Okay.
but between $900,000 and $1 million.
Yeah, which is great. And all of that money will go to this business district fund, like Tyler said, and it'll stay there. We'll have a cushion for a year. And then by January, I think we're going to try to have a plan on exactly the process. TIF has a process that you have to go through as far as applying and blah, 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 and what it can be used for, and what those reward amounts will be based off of what
Yeah.
you're applying for.
So I got to see, I was talking to Doug Skaggs, who is the TIF administrator and will now be the business district administrator.
The other duties that is on his his
Well,
job
he's only got
description.
like 3 years left of TIF, so it'll go away,
Right,
and then
right.
just have this.
Right.
So, the business district runs from Le Mans Chevrolet all the way out to around Walmart a little bit further, and then does go south of town. So it does pick up like Casey's and things like that. So think of a half cross. It doesn't really go anywhere
Right,
north.
right.
There's nowhere for it to really go. So it runs through there. So if you're on Main Street, you're in the business district. I mean, we didn't go through and skip parcels like TIF did. TIF is a very cut out.
Right.
I mean, some people were in, some people were out. I mean, it was very picky choosy when they did it.
And it makes it very confusing for people that, what, they're across the street. Why can they get TIF money and I can't? So.
But the business district can do pretty much everything TIF can do, plus more. So it can do more things like it can do beautification.
Right.
So it could do, I mean, as little as flower pots and things like that. To facades.
To, what about wreaths? That's the big comment. Can it do Christmas, like city decor?
I mean, it can do things like that. And it can do, and then infrastructure. Just like TIF, it can do infrastructure. Without TIF, we wouldn't have these new roads being laid.
Right.
We wouldn't have had the new water lines put in. We wouldn't have the new water tower.
And it is only for stuff in the business district, but say the water lines need replaced and they run into the business district, you know what I mean? There's connecting. There are ways to make it work as long as it's helping the business district.
Yeah. The water tower is the greatest example I can give. Water tower does not sit in TIF. But because it serves, so each water tower has its area that it serves. So they figure out what's the percentage of its serving area is in that district.
Right.
That percentage can be used towards that project. The same with the business district.
Right.
On like infrastructure things. So if the percentage of your project serves that area, you can use that percentage, up to that percentage, for your project.
So, I mean, it could possibly be used for sidewalks, new wreaths, new Christmas lights, whatever it is. But also, like you said, new facades for the building. If there's interior projects going on in buildings, God forbid I say it, all these buildings downtown with their flat roofs and stuff like that, like that may be something that they can work into the project.
And I know, seeing what Doug had, like there was like, okay, we're going to allocate this amount of money for those things. I mean, so they've got buckets already kind of set up, split it up into sections.
When you do apply for this money, are there any is it kind of like TIF? You have to go half and half?
There will be
a loan.
It is not a loan, so you don't have to pay back.
It'll be
It's just
gifted.
like it's set up pretty much just like TIF is.
Okay.
So you'll fill out a form, kind of telling what your project is, and they'll say we will fund this percentage of it.
Okay.
Based off if you're in this bucket, or this bucket, we're going to have percentages.
It's a facade thing, and and I can't. And I'm not going to say for sure because I'm not on there, so I won't
and
be voting for it.
I don't think it's finalized yet either.
Facades, they were talking, 40 or 50%, might be the number they use to help bring facades.
New windows, new, paint on all the outside buildings,
I know they're putting money off to the side for demolition.
Yeah.
Which I know some people say, oh, don't tear down a building. Well, some buildings, need to be torn down so you can have a site ready.
Yeah.
Or Libby gets calls all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Do you have an area where I can build a place? If I can't buy one, can I build one somewhere? Well, we've got it over here by this field, or nothing in the downtown.
Our prime property is either unavailable or needs demolished, or it's really expensive. The people that own it don't want to let it go, and it just makes it completely impossible for someone to come in, buy, demo, and then build.
Yeah.
So. But it's exciting. I'm excited about the possibilities of it. There, when Mike was alive and we were kind of researching, looking at all the different places that have used a business district and seeing what they do, it's exciting to see the possibilities. I mean, our downtown is it's historic and it's charming, but just think about
what's the next level?
Right. Curb appeal. When you go to these little downtowns, like in the mountains or on the beach or, whatever, and they're all these beautiful bright colors and they all, look in line with each other, and it's just charming. It's just like you're in a Hallmark movie. Like that, it can really help set us apart, and they come in and they grab a coffee and they go shopping downtown and they tell their friends about it. Oh my gosh, I stopped by Fairfield the other day. You guys should really stop. And that in turn helps create more tourism as well. So, it's exciting, the possibilities of it.
And that's a good guideline for everybody. I mean, if you go out of town,
right,
tell people about our downtown.
Yeah.
Invite them to come. I know we do.
Yeah.
We go places, And, you ought to come to Fairfield.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
We got
definitely.
a bunch of little shops, great downtown. Come see Fairfield.
Yeah. We got a cute little Airbnb you can stay at.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, luckily we do have a downtown that has a lot of little businesses because we have our main corridor that still runs through it. I mean, some of these smaller towns around us,
they don't have downtowns anymore.
Because their main road is 100 yards that way or whatever, you know,
Right,
and then now people don't get off and go there, you know, everything is developed along that. Well, we have the opportunity with the highways that run through our downtown to get people to be able to, you know, there's a lot of traffic flow there.
All right. Let's take a break. Mark, do you want to do weather real
I can do
fast?
that. I can do that.
And then we'll roll into some events for the week.
Cloudy skies today, going to be warm again, 56 for the high. Tonight, or tomorrow rather, for the Christmas parade.
Yeah.
Cloudy skies again, high of 49, low 41. So it's going to be just about perfect about parade time.
Yeah.
Sunday, sun comes out a little bit, 51. Monday, back down to 49. Tuesday, 52. Wednesday, 45. And then back up into the mid to upper 50s for next weekend.
Awesome.
So not too shabby.
I love it. Let's see. I just wish this rain would go away today. I did my hair, okay? I don't want it raining. Listen. All right, I changed my mind. I'm going to go ahead and do birthdays while I have them up.
All right.
Happy birthday on November 28th to Patty Vaughn. And my husband Noah, his birthday was on November 28th. Also, happy birthday to Lincoln Rutherford on the 28th. And the belated Brian Cotton, his birthday was just on the 28th. He was in our class, a class member. And it's always sad when you start losing classmates. And we miss him for sure. Happy birthday on November 29th to Taylor Shornborn, Hank Houston, and Afton Barton. Happy birthday on November 30th to Matt Kreider and Isaac Vaughn. December 1st, which is today, happy anniversary to Lauren and Susan Adams. Happy birthday to our fellow Rotarian Megan Taylor. Happy birthday Ashton Shreve and Breaking Cavachi. Tomorrow, December 2nd, happy birthday Kendra Bro, Doug Skaggs, our very own. Happy birthday Shelley West, Darla Carnes, and Gordon Inslee. And then on December 3rd, another fellow Rotarian, Marty Vaughn. Happy birthday, Marty. And happy birthday, Barbara Bozarth. That is our birthdays and anniversaries for the week. If you have any that you would like to submit, even with a special message or anything, send them to rjontheair@raylanjames.com or reach out to Mark or I, and we would be glad to get those added for you. All right, let's switch into some events for the week. We have tomorrow, Calling All Elves. Mama Bears is hosting a event here at the building for ages 2 to 8 at RJ on Main. Tickets are $40. It's 1:30 till 4 p.m. They have a lot of fun stuff planned, but you get to make your own little squishmallow. And they're having all sorts of Christmas-themed, snacks and crafts and all that stuff. So get a hold of Melissa at Mama Bears if you want to get a last-minute ticket to that. Like I said, tomorrow before the parade, 1:30 to 4 at RJ on Main. Christmas parade is tomorrow at 5 p.m. I didn't make a slide for this, but Cornerstone Community Church is having bleachers.
I saw that.
Yeah, across from Huck's in that parking lot. It is their parking lot. I think the city, did they share it with the city? Or?
I'm not really for sure because the sign on the thing says city parking lot, public parking, but I don't know. I mean, but then I know it's always went back and forth. Who actually
owns it?
It's been so long. I really don't know, so I'm not even going to say.
But regardless, they're setting up some bleachers there, and they'll have people to assist. I think it's more catered for senior citizens, a safe place to sit and watch the parade. They'll be able to help you up on the bleachers. It'll be a little bit of a, more comfy spot to sit.
I think they got free popcorn, too.
Free popcorn. They do. So go by. The people at Cornerstone are great people. And speaking of, they got a busy weekend. December 3rd, they're having their piano organ concert at Cornerstone Community Church. It's always a great way to get your holiday season started. I mean, what a fun holiday weekend. go to the parade, go see Santa at Santa's house and go through the Festival of Lights, and then wake up the next day, go to your church or whatever, and then at 4 p.m. go to the piano organ concert and just have a holly jolly weekend. Up next, Jingles at the library, December 13th, 5:30 to 7. Everyone is welcome. FCHS show choirs performing Christmas carols, and then they'll have games, crafts, refreshments, photo spot with Santa, and then reading of the night before Christmas. And Sarah McGehee is bringing her alpaca, aka reindeer, so that'll be fun.
Have you seen the Amazon commercial with I think it's an alpaca.
I don't know that I have.
I don't think I have.
I don't know. He orders a Bluetooth speaker to liven up the holiday, and there's these two. It's either an alpaca or what's the other one? Oh gosh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, from Peru.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
Llama?
Llama.
Llama.
They're either llamas or alpacas, but
Yeah. Who knows the difference?
he turns on the Bluetooth speaker, flips on the lights, and they start playing, Mamacita, Donde Está de Santa Claus. And the alpacas are just
Dancing?
going to town.
Oh, I love it. That is too much fun. Okay, we kind of talked about this earlier, but the solar eclipse is coming up, and that is going to be April 8th, 2024. But our kickoff is with Little Texas on Friday, April 5th. And tickets are on sale right now. You can go to the City of Fairfield's website, I need to get that on there. I don't think I have it on there. You can go to the Facebook page currently. You can go to the Chamber's Facebook page or Fairfield Solar Eclipse Fairfield, Illinois on Facebook and find that link, or contact Libby, and she can help you find that link to get your tickets for that. I do think it's going to be a sold-out event. Bo Tatum and the Dirt Devils is opening that night, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. It's at the Wayne County Fairgrounds starting at 6-ish. Libby let the cat out of the bag last week and said there will be booze out there.
Yes, the Elks is doing they're going to handle the beer out there. So
I'm
it'll
excited.
be beer, wine, no hard alcohol.
Yeah. So it'll be nice. I mean, that's a big step forward, I feel like, for Fairfield, too.
We were supposed to have our trial run out of fireworks last year. They got rained out. Couldn't get that. That was going to be with Willow Creek. Yeah. So we're just going to jump right in and try to do it for the solar eclipse.
We're going to try to do it so everyone be on their best behavior so we can, continue
to do it,
do that. It'll be good. It'll be a lot of fun. And then that weekend, Friday night's Little Texas at the fairgrounds. Saturday, I know we're going to have stuff down here on
downtown,
on Main Street. And there'll be like inflatables, I think, for the kids.
Inflatables, and then we're going to have some music going.
Yep. Local musicians.
So that'll be the Saturday morning kind of thing. So that'll be really fun. It'll be kind of family friendly, and then people can see our downtown.
Right, go shopping.
We expect a lot of people in town.
Yep, go eat.
Then we will turn back around that night, and we'll go back out to the fairgrounds, and then Saturday night it's going to be completely free out at the fairgrounds.
I love it.
They'll be back out there. Bo Tatum and the Dirt Devils will be the headline act that night, and then we're looking to have Andy King Band and other local artists playing all night. The Elks is back with the beer tent, so that'll be available for the second night as well. But that night's free. We just want people to come, be in Fairfield, have fun.
Yeah.
And not have to travel.
Yeah, it'll be good. And then Sunday, I think, is a family-friendly day as well, right, at Leo French?
Leo French, so inflatables back out there.
Yeah.
Hoping local organizations will set up booths, things like that. Just kid-friendly, maybe worship services.
Face painting and,
all kinds
food.
of just fun stuff out there. And then VPF that night out at the park is going to have a movie.
I love that. Okay. That'll be fun. And then Monday, we have absolutely nothing planned. It's just going to be mostly crowd control, traffic control. We really need everyone just kind of on deck to, help.
Yeah. I mean, if you live here, try to just find your place that you want to be.
Stay.
And stay there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to get crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, take the side roads that maybe stay off the main roads, because I know the last solar eclipse, for hours on end afterwards, we had people coming through town. 3 or 4 hours. There was a very steady flow of traffic.
Yeah.
And they're expecting over 1 million additional people in the Marion-Carbondale area, and they're going to be getting back home after the solar eclipse. So
Yeah.
And
it's
they're
going to
all
be crazy.
and they're all looking for ways to get home other than the interstate.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So everyone pay attention to that, and just be mindful. Like people we've talked about are going to be using MapQuest
Yeah.
to get them around, and I'm nervous about that. I'm hoping there's not backwater. I'm hoping they
Yeah.
don't drive off into it. But be mindful when you are on those side roads or even on the main roads. Go slow, put your phone down, pay attention. These are people that don't know it's a one-way street. You know what I mean? Like, just be aware.
Yeah, I mean, and we have just limited police and
Right,
and then deputies and things like that can
We've-
control an entire county.
Yeah, we're trying to recruit as much help as we can, but just be mindful. So, all right, I'm going to check in on the live chat real fast. Samantha Vaughn says, "What, Tyler? Definitely the 4th of July is one of the busiest grocery days." What do you think? 4th of July, is it any competition with Christmas, Easter?
I mean, you get a nice bump,
Influx.
but it's not as big as the other holidays.
Proven
See,
wrong, Samantha. Proven wrong. No.
She's been out of the game for a while.
I was thinking one of the big days too might be Memorial Day
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
everybody's
I mean
taking off.
that's cookout.
Cookout.
I mean
That's
that's a lot
cookout.
of
You
cookout.
got to have
I mean,
your buns and your
yeah,
and your
you're
meat.
not getting like 300 other cartloads of
Yeah.
baking supplies. You're getting hot dogs, buns. I mean, but you're still selling quite a bit of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just meat and hot dogs and things like that.
Angela Vaughn says, "I love that commercial too, Mark." She knows what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Tyler and I are like, "What?" No,
I watch a lot of
seen it.
TV in my off hours.
Oh, we are so excited. We are back in the TV world. We switched to, we canceled everything. We're on streaming for the longest time. Netflix, Hulu,
Yeah.
the amount of money we're paying in streaming services is ridiculous. We got YouTube TV now.
Yep.
Did the free trial, and it's like we're never getting rid of it. It's
Yeah,
so
YouTube TV
nice.
yeah.
Oh, it's so nice. You can actually watch your shows when they're on.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate the commercials, but it's
You do get local channels then?
yeah.
Yeah, you get local channels.
Yeah.
Really?
And then you kind
I
of
gotta
tell
look
it you,
into
you
that,
like to
yeah.
watch the show, and it'll just go ahead and record it for you.
Yeah.
Like, because it puts it on the cloud. I mean,
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just
cool.
Yeah.
on the cloud. No one knows what the cloud is or where it's at, but it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some days they're hanging kind of low.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
well,
sure.
People need to be watching their shows. They need
That's
to get them
right.
out of the clouds.
Oh my gosh. Samantha said, "I have been out of the game for a while." It's been a minute. Oh, that's too funny.
Oh, man.
Did you prepare any trivia for us today?
I do.
All right, let's do trivia, and then I've got our taste test challenge.
Okay, I was writing these up this morning, so they're handwritten.
Oh,
so
my
forgive me if I
goodness.
can't read anything.
Oh, my
I have got December and Christmas movie trivia today.
Okay.
All right, number one, what does December translate to? December is a Roman calendar type month.
Okay.
Okay, in the old Roman language, what was the word?
Is
what
it a
did the
wo-
word December mean?
Okay. End.
No,
Month 10.
10th. It was 10th.
Thank you for phone a friend, Samantha Vaughn. I'm watching the live chat right now.
That's just cheating,
right.
Claire.
Okay, December is the 7th and the last month in the year to have this in it.
The
31
31st.
days?
31 days. You got it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. This happened in the USSR on December 9th of 1991.
Was it a war? I don't know.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this
wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The USSR was dissolved.
Listen, I said,
December 9th
I've
on the-
apologized to Bobby Wells many times on this podcast. I did not pay enough attention in history class.
Oh, man, let's see here. Okay, astrological signs in December. What are the two that's in December?
Samantha, I'm waiting on your answer. No.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Well, Capricorn is one of them.
I was going to
Okay.
say Capricorn. Capricorn.
Taurus? I don't know. I have
and-
no idea.
Sagittarius.
Okay.
Sagittarius, okay.
Oh, I should have known that. My husband's
Yeah.
a Sagittarius, and his birthday is November 28th, and it's the first part of December.
All right.
I could have got there.
What song composed in 1857, was originally a Thanksgiving song, but is now a traditional Christmas song.
What, like Deck the Halls?
It is not Deck the Halls. Think about it.
I was trying to. It's something like, 'cause I wouldn't think Jingle Bells.
It is Jingle Bells.
Really? It is
Yeah.
Jingle Bells.
Why
That was
are-
my first thought for some reason. Then I'm like, no, that's too Christmassy.
Why are they jingling bells on Thanksgiving?
Because you're in the sleigh going to Grandma's house.
Oh, I've never been in a sleigh going to my grandma's house,
But
but
you would have been in 1850.
that's true.
That's true. All right. All right. Christmas movies now.
Okay.
What series of movies, Christmas movies, featured the actor Macaulay Culkin?
Home Alone.
Home Alone. There you go. All right. What Christmas special featured an elf that wanted to be a dentist?
Oh, yeah, that's Rudolph the Red-Nosed
Yeah.
Reindeer.
Hermit.
Yeah.
Good job.
He
It was
wants
just
to be a
on the other
dentist.
night.
Aw.
Let's see here. In A Miracle on 34th Street, what store does Chris go to work for in New York City?
In what show?
Yeah,
Miracle on 34th Street.
Macy's.
Macy's, yeah.
Yeah, Macy's.
All right. Number 9, Bill Murray, who's from Chicago, stars in this Christmas movie. It's a remake or a variation of A Christmas Carol.
Scrooge.
Scrooged. Yep.
All right.
All right, and my final question. In Christmas Vacation, what is Clark planning to do with his Christmas bonus?
Buy a pool.
There you go. Put it in a pool.
I'm sad that I did not know that. My sister-in-law Blair may disown me because that is her favorite
Well, it's like
Christmas
there has
movie.
to be a question on it that, a
Yeah.
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, right.
That may be a recurring theme this month.
What? Yeah.
Christmas songs and Christmas movies.
While we're on it, let's. What's your favorite Christmas movie? Like, what's your go-to? Get you in a good Christmas mood.
It'd probably be Christmas Vacation. I'd
Yeah.
probably have to, that's one
It's
of the
got
ones
good
I have
humor
to watch.
and yeah, your go-to.
I love Scrooged. With
Okay.
Bill Murray. That
Okay.
is my. I love the A Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Even the old original ones, the
Yeah.
black and white ones.
Uh-huh.
But I love Scrooged with Bill Murray.
I'm an elf or the Grinch with
Okay.
Jim Carrey.
I have already seen Elf, so I don't
Yeah.
know.
Have you watched it
Yeah.
already?
It was on. They did a full 24 hours of Elf
Yeah.
this past weekend.
I love it. It's so
Yeah.
good. And Samantha just said the Grinch, all of them.
Yeah.
I'm with her on that too. They're all good.
Now I saw
And-
one a couple of years ago. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
Oh, okay. That's right up there with Sharknado.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah.
He loves terrible cinema. Like
I
he's
do.
watched all the Sharknados.
I have not watched any of the Sharknados.
He loves them all.
Yeah.
But I'll have to. I'm not putting that one on my list. Actually, I'm not even gonna lie about it. What about? Have you watched? Oh gosh, Goldie Hawn was in it, and Kurt Russell. That Santa movie.
Oh yes.
What is
yes.
that called? It was really good. And he
It
was like
was.
a rockin' Santa Claus.
Yes.
It's sounding familiar, but
Yeah.
Very, and there was a second one that came out.
Yes.
It was a Netflix, couple
Yes.
of Netflix movies.
Yeah, they were
Those
good.
are great.
We had a family movie night when that one first came out and watched it. And Claus. I think it is called Claus.
I think you're right.
But yeah, it was so good.
Now, there was another one that came out last year, a Netflix one. It had Forrest Whitaker in it.
Yeah,
Jingle Jangle, maybe?
I think that sounds something like that.
Yeah.
I remember I did watch
That was
it.
really good, too.
Yeah.
I noticed none of you guys said any Hallmark movie.
No. No.
If he would have had trivia on Hallmark, I might have gotten out. 'Cause I
left.
would have just been like, okay, I'll come back in 5 minutes. or
I did
something.
that.
He'd have thrown them headphones at me.
I did that with Ken Odie. I messed with him and said we were going to talk about Hallmark movies, but was that all your trivia for today?
That's all my
All
trivia
right, that was
for
good.
today.
I like the Christmas theme.
Like I
That's
say,
fun.
it's going to be a recurring theme this month.
All right. So today, my food is Oreos. Real Oreos versus Twist and Shout. Okay.
Now, Twist and Shout are the Save-A-Lot brand,
No.
right?
The knockoff brands, yeah. I knew I was going to get called out for that. Grab you one out of here.
Why don't you just dump it into my
All
hand?
right.
Now you can't be looking at it because
Yeah,
it'll
don't
say
look at
on
it.
there.
I know.
Yeah.
Keep your good job.
Got it?
Okay, try that one and tell me, or you can wait and try the second.
I have an idea on that one.
Noah told me I should have brought a glass of milk for you guys after this. Don't look at it.
Nope.
Did you just look at it? I
No.
think he just studied it.
I won't be able to see it anyway.
Yeah,
I
what
wasn't
was I
gonna say it.
thinking?
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that, but
I'll play it.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, so you got an idea?
Yeah.
Which one do you think is
the
real?
first one was Oreo.
What do you think, Mark?
I'm thinking the second one.
Oh, Tyler wins.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
First
definitely.
one was O for Oreo.
Yep.
The reason why I thought the second one was Oreo, because the cream was thicker.
So
Thought
you
maybe
know
it was
what
a
I
double
did?
stuff.
I messed up and got double stuff. So I tried to throw you for a loop there, and it worked. Tyler came through clutch.
Oh, yeah. The cookie's completely different. The cream's completely different.
So can you?
Coming from a grocery guy. so,
Right,
I mean,
exactly. So what are your? We've talked about this many times. What are your things that you will not go knock off on? Do you have any? Like Conrad brought in toilet paper. Are you a plush toilet paper guy? Or are you a,
No, I mean, I can use
Doesn't
the off-brand
matter.
as long as
Yeah.
it is like the comparable on that.
not
I
not
mean,
the thin see-through?
there's
you know,
some crackers and stuff like that.
you
know,
like
it's
Ritz brand.
yeah,
or,
I mean, something like that. You know, but if you're using it like
in a,
in a
soup.
casserole or something, like like making the topping and
Right.
stuff like that's fine. you know.
Right, right. Soda? Are you a soda guy?
Yeah. Now, if I'm at work and I'm just grabbing one, I might grab the cheap one. And
Yeah.
just but if I have it at home, I've got Coke at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Coke? You're a Coke guy?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
good
waiting
you.
for someone to bring in a guest to bring in fake Diet Coke and see, like, put me on the spot and see. Libby was gonna do it last week.
You'd
but
definitely be able to.
I'm like I always say, I'm like a connoisseur. So my husband has pulled this trick on me before. I love fountain Diet Cokes. All right, so we're on vacation.
There's a difference.
Oh, there is a
There's
complete
a
difference. And
difference
actually,
between
each
fountain
one,
soda
because
and
they
regular.
decide how much syrup they put in them.
Right. So I love fountain Diet Cokes. McDonald's is my favorite. It's like the perfect proportion. But we were on vacation. He was pumping gas and he was running inside. And I said, grab me a fountain Diet Coke. Well, he comes out and gives me a fountain Diet Coke. It's in a styrofoam cup, which is also one of my favorites. I love styrofoam cups. Anyways, hands it to me. I take one drink out of it, and I was like, is this from a can? He's like, how did you know that? They were out of fountain Diet Coke in the fountain, so he just got a cup, put ice in it, and poured the Diet Coke in it to see if I would be able to tell the difference. And I knew immediately, and he's like, that's ridiculous, you know?
That's
Or
crazy.
he'll try to fool me with like a Diet Pepsi in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, it's definitely sweeter. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
all around, it just has a different taste altogether.
It is. It's my jam though, and I've drank Diet Coke since I was a little kid. It's never like a diet thing. It's just I love the aspartame. I know that's probably why I have horrible short-term memory because the amount of holes the aspartame has eaten in my brain. But
oh well,
you know,
something's going to kill you.
Old
anyway, so, I
habits
mean, it's
die
just-
hard. Yeah. So I mean, I would just have to switch to just water and
Can-
coffee and
Continuing
tea.
with the conversation here, but in the back of her mind, she's going, now, what were we talking about?
Right, exactly. 100%. But I can remember stuff from high school. You know, I can remember that type of stuff. I was talking to Andy Pope the other day, and I was like, I remember that time I had to drop you off on the corner by your parents' house. He's like, how do you remember that? I'm like, don't ask me what I
oh, yeah.
did earlier.
Now,
but
has the
Same.
taste of Diet Coke changed since you were in high school?
if it did, it was like gradual. I don't
Okay.
ever remember like an exact moment where it's like, oh, this is different.
See,
But-
I remember when they switched from classic Coke to the new Coke.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and different countries have different proportions as well.
Yeah.
So, like, my sister went to Jamaica for her honeymoon, and she brought me back a bottle of Jamaican Diet Coke. I think she brought me back two, because I still have have one. Like, we'll save it. You know, I'm a
Probably still
one of
good.
those.
Well, they're doing the real sugar thing.
In a
and
pinch,
all
right?
That, you know.
Yes, when it has like the cane sugar in it, you know, it's just different.
Yeah.
But, anyways, well, we still have a little bit of time left. What else can we talk about? 9:27.
Well, I have some horror stories from Black Friday.
Oh, locally or
No,
these are just
no,
okay?
no. These are just in general, and I don't name any stores or anything.
Okay.
Or where this is from. There was a mom who actually let her child use the bathroom on the floor in the line at GameStop.
Oh my gosh.
And it was number one.
Ooh.
I mean, how desperate were you for that game?
Uh-huh.
I think people would have understood if you would have said,
Yeah.
"Hey, can you hold my spot in line? I'll be right back. My kid has to
yeah.
go to the bathroom."
Yeah, otherwise you're going to be stepping over it.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah, give
What
them
do
an
you want?
option.
Yeah.
Another place, woman could not get her TV on Black Friday, so she called 911.
Call 911. That is an emergency if I've
Yeah.
ever seen one.
And, I mean, it's not like you've had to like wait for TVs. Walmart's had them like in the back aisle
Yeah,
for ever. I mean, cheap, like big TVs,
Right.
pretty cheap. Like
I
there was
know.
really no need to wait until
Listen,
Black Friday.
The
for a TV.
marketing of Black Friday makes all the craziness. You know what I mean?
Yeah. In one place, a man threw a chair at a store employee because the iPad he wanted was sold out.
Oh my God.
Well, it was that minimum wage employee's fault.
Exactly.
And this is my personal favorite. Tuesday before Black Friday, guy was waiting in line, already waiting in line, hoping to get a new TV. When the doors opened,
Tuesday.
he went right to the TV section, only to find out that all the TVs were gone. Because there was another entrance closer to the TV section. And he didn't know it.
My
So,
camped out from Tuesday. What are you doing? Why is a TV that important for you? Think of the amount of
Somebody-
time of your life that you
Somebody just needs
wasted.
to buy him a TV.
Right.
I mean, my
you know,
gosh.
somebody just needs to give him a job or give him a hug or something because he's
Right.
got problems.
So the store employee one, that was something we talked about last week. Libby's son works for you at
Yeah.
Save a Lot, and she's told me some horror stories about, sometimes customers get very angry or mean with the cashiers and the, young workers. And you said, because it's their fault, right?
Do you have a-
sarcastically, people be nice. Just
Do you have a code word? I mean,
No.
when you
I
see
mean-
somebody walk in and you know they're going to be a problem, you go,
Karen's here.
code 4, code 4.
Karen's here. Yeah.
Excuse me.
No, I mean, I'm just used to it. I mean, 20 years and it's like
It doesn't faze
It doesn't
you.
really faze me, and it's funny what some people can think like, oh, that person was horrible, and I'm like,
Meh.
yeah, I've seen a lot worse. I
But
mean,
think
like,
about when you were 16,
oh yeah,
17.
oh yeah, they get all they're like, oh my gosh, this person. I'm like,
I would have went home and cried. I actually remember working at DiMaggio's as a waitress and someone being just a little mean to me, and I was like, it was awful. You know, you're not as confident.
I've had my share of bad reactions to employees over the years, but now I'm older and wiser, I guess.
Yeah. So you just kind of remind them to take it on the chin, and it'll let it go.
Be like,
Everyone has bad days,
Yeah.
right?
yeah. Then sometimes they're like, I wasn't the nicest to them. I'm like, well, they weren't the nicest to you. Sometimes you just that's
Right.
just, you get over it, they'll get over it, and everything will be all right.
Right. But I do think overall you guys have great customer service, and
Yep.
I sure appreciate that. Half the time when I go in, Tyler's working, and I'm like, Tyler, where's blah, blah, blah? And he's like, he doesn't just tell me. He'll
takes you
walk
there.
me. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that's sweet. Walmart, you go there, and it's like there's not a soul around to help you. And I'm looking it up on my app, like, how do I?
Yeah, it's
How do I
it says
get
it's in
there?
aisle 43. Where's it at?
You coming on for a special guest? Well, yeah, not quite. We went over a little bit. We're almost done. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us on It's a Beautiful Day in Fairfield. Tyler, I really appreciate you
Yeah,
coming
thanks for
on.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's been good chatting with you, and I appreciate all you do for our community. It does not go unnoticed at all. So everyone have a beautiful day, and don't forget to tune back in next Friday at 8:30 a.m. with special guest
Gordy Toombs.
Gordy Toombs.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Maybe he'll sketch you guys.
Yeah. Maybe he'll bring a sketch in for us.
Oh, I would love that. All right. Thank you again for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend. For Mark Turner, Claire Vaughn, and Tyler Lampley, we appreciate you joining us.
Yep.